something else. So eventually Steve Lerner, our president here, had come up with the idea of Wind Up, and it kind of stuck, and everybody liked it, and it survived.
Okay, you do your distribution through Epic and also Sony. You are still an independent record label in America, is that right?
Yes, we are, of course, one of the largest independents in the world. There's not much left in the way of independent labels, unfortunately. That's, the major labels have pretty much cleared the field and taken over both the distribution side as well as the recording side. But we are fiercely independent, and we enjoy that independence, and we relish it.
When you signed Creed, were you involved with the negotiations? Did they arrive with a CD, or did you go see them live, or some of your A&R people?
Actually, my wife, Diana Meltzer, is our head of A&R, and she had come in on a Tuesday afternoon and very excited and animated, and she had the Creed record in hand. She says, "You have to hear this." And we sat down, we listened, and we flew down to Tallahassee, Florida that Friday. Saw the band, stayed over, flew back. The band flew in on Monday, and we signed a deal with them on Wednesday.
It was rather tough in those years, 1997, 98, around there. Rock was sort of going downwards. The dance trend took over radio stations all over the world. Your feelings about that, still believing in rock music in those days? Is it just a thing, do you dig rock music, or are you going to try other genres as well? Because I see you've got a lot of rock bands on your label.
We're all about rock and rock/pop. I don't know how you draw that line sometimes, and especially as the formats at radio tend to become indistinguishable in some ways, as especially here in the U.S., pop radio is now playing rock music. Creed is, of course, a rock star as well as a pop star here in the States.
Okay, you signed Creed. They sold about 5 million copies of the first album. The second album, that just cracked it up. When it comes to marketing through Wind Up Records, what do you do to promote a band? Do they have to go out there and do their gigs on the road every single day?
Well, obviously touring is very important, but it's all about the fan. It's all about the fan. And for us also, the way to communicate and stay in touch with our fans, with Creed fans, and all the fans of all the bands on Wind Up is via the internet and the websites. And the websites and the community of fans that revolve around it is very important to us. And it's not our websites, and it's not even the band's websites, it's the fans' websites. It's a community, and as long as you have a real clear-cut understanding of who owns it and who controls it, and it's not the corporation and it's not the company, it's the kids who control the site, and we basically turn it over to them. It's their site.
We have hundreds and hundreds of bands trying to make it big in South Africa. Obviously, it's difficult to get in the States and Australia and the UK. How should they go about it, especially the record industry in South Africa? We've got so many bands. Did you accept demos from bands, or do they have to come and do a showcase for you?
We do accept demos. Generally, demos, though, need to come because of all kinds of legal reasons, need to come from established managers, or a lot of this business is driven in part by music attorneys who may represent bands initially, or publishers. So that process is in place. Unsolicited demos are a problem for us, and not only for us, but for all record companies. I would love it if we could accept them, but there are restrictions and laws and problems with unsolicited music. So my suggestion to a young band, a new band, of course, if you can find a publisher and somebody willing to help you along the way, because very often a publisher can provide the advances to keep a band going. Of course, don't give away your publishing too soon or too cheap. That's one important bit of advice.
Okay, and your bands like Finger 11, Boy Eats Khan, Breaking Point, there are so many doing very well. Drowning Pool, they're really doing well, especially at the Ozfest. Do they all work together? Do you plan tours with all your bands from one label, or how does it work in the States?
In the States, generally, no. Not at the major label level, but at the wind-up level, yes. As a matter of fact, last night we had a party at my house with 4 wind-up bands there at one time. The bands help each other. They work together. It's just a different environment from the major label environment, and we try and keep it that way.
Is your house?
We did two at my house. Yes.
Is your house still in a nice, decent order? I mean, can you imagine these guys getting wild at your place?
Let's not question wild. We can get pretty wild ourselves. So I think it's just a matter of respectful taking care of, people's property. So we party with the best of them. But as far as touring goes, Drowning Pool, Finger 11, and Boy Hits Car went out together on a short tour. And they had a ball together, and it's a bonding experience, and each one has something to offer the other, especially and including opportunities as they come up. Creed takes wind-up bands out whenever they go out on tour, and there's no contractual obligation for that, but Creed is loyal to the label, and the label is loyal to Creed, which in this day and age, of course, is extraordinary.
Right. Now, we've got a success story. I've been waiting for 20 years to actually hear this from you. Saw this band about a year ago in a small club somewhere, and I knew there was something there. They gave us the demo. We played it on radio. The demo did very well on our top 40 as well. Apparently a band called Saron Gas. Do you know about them?
I know them very well at this point. They are the newest artist to be signed to Wind Up Records, and we are very, very happy about this signing.
Fantastic. What made you sign them? Obviously they flew over. They were very excited. You saw them live. What did you like about the band?
Well, it was, I guess in part, it was so ironic just for Dan again to walk in the door and say, I have a band, and guess what? They're from South Africa. And we said, you've got to be kidding. And she said, nope. She says, listen to this. And there it was. And there was Saron Gas. And there was the repertoire is just awesome, the Saron Gas repertoire. We're looking at Sean, who's just an amazing talent and an amazing writer and a great band and with a great future.
So the next step, Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The next step for them, they're going to relocate and then obviously maybe re-record the album. Are you looking at that maybe, re-record some songs?
We're still mulling over exactly where we're going to go from a creative standpoint. Some of the songs are likely to get re-recorded. We'll probably keep several of the tracks as is. I mean, the record as it exists is a really good record, and I don't like to screw around with the art. It's not really the record company's role. The record company's role is to guide the artist and to provide support, and that's what we intend to do with Saron Gas, as we do with our other artists. However, if we can beat what we got, we're going to take a shot at it. We're not afraid to spend on the recordings, and if we can come up with a little better version of a song or a different mix, or just go back and start from scratch on a particular track, we will. It's very competitive business out there, so it's very important that we deliver at the end of the day the very, very best possible record.
Well, Alan, once again, thank you very much for opening the door to South African music. We've got lots of other bands here, and I'm sure they're going to be knocking on your doors soon. We'll be sending you some stuff as well, and obviously you'll be visiting South Africa soon. You have to come out and check out some talent here.
We will definitely be coming to South Africa, and that's going to be very exciting for me, too. I've done a lot of traveling, and I've yet to visit South Africa, but I'm sure it's in my near future.
Excellent. All right, the band, they're going to play live on the radio now for 45 minutes. They are listening to you. Anything you want to add, say how's it to them before they go live?
I just want to say hello to the guys, and I look forward to seeing them soon.
All right, Alan, thank you very much.
Okay.
See ya. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
There you go, Alan Meltzer, the MD of a wind-up in New York. You've heard the breaking news. It'll be in the Star tomorrow. It'll be on ETV as well. Thanks for the crews to come through at this hour. And supporting South African music. So what a breakthrough. I'm getting goose flesh, man. It's such a good feeling. And speaking of the band, I'm sure they're very excited. They're going to play now for 45 minutes live and loud from RP Studios in Auckland Park. Take it away, boys. Record labels in New York. Wind Up. From all of us at 5FM and your fans, well done. The pride of South Africa, Saron Gas. Yay! Brilliant, brilliant. And a little later on, the band will be joining me. You can speak to them live on air as well. We got Ingrid here from Frontline. Was that backline? Frontline, huh? Just checking. Yeah, just checking. After tonight. Yes, that fridge is still loaded, huh?
Thanks to Mr. Lacey,
not the one
the
downstairs.
last minute request.
Yeah, bring the fridge up here. But congratulations to Saron Gas. It's been about a year now of hard work, and you were involved with the band from day one, looking after them, on tour with them, and also putting them in touch with Musketeer Records. Do you want to go back in time and just tell everybody how it all happened and why the band Saron Gas?
Well, sure. Actually, we saw Saron Gas at a gig that I did with Squeal in Wonderboom in Pretoria, and they asked me then if I was interested in managing them, and at that stage I said no. And we continued to watch them for a while, see how they progressed, and then I actually got together with Brian, and Brian was talking about starting a new label in the first release, which happened to be Saron Gas. And we then said, great, and the one kind of tied in with the other. And that's when we really started working with them. And I think the thing that impressed us the most was the people they were, the music they delivered, the fact, how they were up on stage, their professional attitude, and just overall, they were just three amazing people that I really wanted to work with.
Well, I saw them at the Emerging Sounds competition with Simon Folds. I mean, if it wasn't for Simon doing so much for unsigned bands, then most of these bands won't get anywhere in this country. So, Simon, if you're listening, cool, man. Thanks for all your hard work. But
Well
I saw them there. They didn't get to number one. I think they ended third or fourth in the competition.
That's right. They didn't get to the final.
And brilliant. I immediately somebody gave me a CD. I can't remember. Played it on air. Lauren from 5FM put it on the playlist, 69T. I think it got to number one, or it got to number two, I think.
It got to number two.
And that was still like a demo version, really.
That's right. That was prior to Brian and Chris actually re-recording for the album.
Okay, and then obviously the ball started rolling, and Musketeer Records. I know the band shopped around. They went to all the major record companies.
A couple of good funny stories.
Yes,
there,
I
yes.
actually introduced them to. I set up a couple of meetings for them, and they were a bit scared of this band. I think the majors, we're not prepared to put money into this band, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about your input, Pete. Obviously you're a businessman. You're there to make money. That's the bottom line. And when you heard the music, did you sign a band for the music, for their talent, or do you think a commercial value, really?
I've really been involved in music all my life. I was a DJ. I played my entire university career as a DJ at UCT. All the boys down there. This is one of your band's boys. But at really, it was Brian and Chris, the two producers, who listened to the band and said, "Hey, there's something here. We really like this. We'd like to get involved with them, and we're just looking for a financial partner." And I've known Brian for actually too long now.
He breaks tables. He won't be invited back to my pub again.
I don't think we'll go into that.
Yeah. Did you actually shop around? Did you approach other engineers and producers and studios?
No, I didn't, because Brian actually is a good friend of mine, and I like to get involved in business with people who I know personally and I have a good feeling about. And I've always had a good feeling about Brian, and the first time I met Sean, had a really good feeling about Sean and Dave and Dale. And, the team that we've put together, including, of course, Ingrid, who we hired to do the marketing at the same time as she was the band manager, all we've done is we've gone out and we've looked and said, okay, well, who can do the job? Who's not, I hope there's no majors listening, who's not tainted by the record industry, and who's just out there to make good music and promote good music. And we put together 4 or 5 people, and to the credit of BMG and Dave Thompson in particular, they came to the party and said, look, we didn't have anybody here who could actually promote the band and who was passionate about the band. But in Ingrid and in Chris and in Brian, we had guys who were passionate about actually making a good record. And that's what you need. If you've got the passion, you can create the good record. And, of course, if you've got the songs.
We'll chat about the wind-up record deal in a mo, but the two heroes, yeah? Brian and Chris, swing that mic around. What was it like working with Saron Gas? Did you see them live before you recorded them? What do you like about the band?
I actually saw them live at Hunter's one evening, and
Were you sober?
I was sober, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they really impressed me, and I thought, okay, I must get hold of them, and so phoned them and said, be interested in recording them, and got their demos, and phoned Brian and said, listen to this, and we were both excited, and this was at the same time that Ingrid was pondering, and Brian was pondering a record label, and so it all fell together at the same time.
So at the end of the day, you were listening for good quality hit songs, not necessarily the stage performance.
Well, Sean blew me away immediately, voice-wise. Definitely had a presence, and there were definitely some good songs. And obviously when we got into the studio, then we developed what was there. And yeah, I'm sure Brian can tell you about developing.
Swing the microphone. Just watch out that glass table over there, please. How's it, my man? How are you?
Hi, Barney.
I believe you blush a lot. Sasha saw you earlier on. I heard in the car. Listen,
I really don't enjoy this.
but you guys are in the engine room, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, without you guys, the CD wouldn't have happened. How long were they in your studio for?
I think exactly 1 month.
Gee, but you've got a nice setup there. They can stay outside. You've got a nice... It's called a farm, isn't it? Studios.
Farm studios, yeah. Yeah.
Any sheep around there? Cattle?
Not at the moment,
Some
but
chickens.
we're working on it. Yeah, sheepdogs. Yeah.
He does have a sheepdog that can pick up lemons off the lemon tree.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
So it's a nice laid-back atmosphere. I think I popped in there a couple of years ago. Very nice studio. You still work there with Sugar Drive. And a couple of other bands. Semi saying there are so many. You've become one of the hottest engineers in South Africa. How do you feel about that? Producers, engineers.
Excited. Yeah. Look, it's the whole thing that why we're here at the moment. It's sort of it's a lot of effort, a lot of time spent on a lot of bands, going back maybe 6-7 years. So it's very exciting. Yeah.
And working with Saron Gas, the qualities, great musicians. I mean, it's difficult to, from an outsider. We go and see them live at concerts, and it's in 1 hour it's over. We all go home. But the hard work behind a band like that, they practice virtually every day. They don't have day jobs, most of them, and in the studio as well. I mean, they don't just walk in there and do one song. How long did it take to do one song?
Geez, Chris, it was
4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days, and I think when we say 1 month, that was long hours, 15, 16-hour days, just going through the stuff. The guys they came there very prepared. The music was good, we knew that, and what we wanted to do was just bring out the songs, bring out and bring to the fore what was already we knew was a lot of talent.
Any other up-and-coming bands? Any advice for bands? Obviously, people are now going to call Musketeer Records because you guys, I mean, you've made rock and roll history. It's never happened to a rock band in South Africa. The future for the record company now, obviously the band, they'll have to relocate?
They'll be moving over, yeah, probably towards the end of this year. And their family's obviously following them within about 6 months.
It must be difficult because I think the drummer is married and his wife said, "You're not going! You still have to mow the lawn." Oh, sorry, I'm just kidding.
Actually, Dave's wife's been incredibly supportive throughout the entire thing. Dave was like, I want to take another last shot at drumming, and she was like, go for it. So I think a lot of girlfriends and wives out there have if they can take a kind of leaf out of that book.
So when I spoke to the band as well, I mean, this is the only chance they've got. I mean, if you look at the Springbok Nude Girls, Sugar Drive, after 7 years, who knows? I mean, they decided, well, is there a future in this country? Obviously not. You get to the top after about 6-7 years, then you have to move on. Look at Boo and all those bands. So they'll obviously come back to South Africa to do tours and stuff, like keep in touch with their fans, because without their fans, they'd be nothing.
I think their South African fans are really important to them, and I don't think they ever really want to lose touch with that. I think you've also got to remember that their South African fans are a major part of why they really are where they are at the moment.
Definitely. And the record label, are you looking at signing some new South African talent? Have you been looking around?
I think, yes, we are looking for talent, consistently looking for talent. The one key thing that has made Saron Gas a success, though, is that we haven't worked with more than 2 or 3 bands at any one point in time. And we've been able to, and here they come. So now they're going to completely ruin the interview. I can see it coming already.
You can say all the bad things quickly.
Yeah, quickly. Oh, no, they're horrible guys. So we are looking around at the moment for another, and particularly a rock band. We've got a very close relationship with Wind Up as well. Our relationship with them has not ended on signing of a contract, and we are looking to take other stuff over. We have already taken some other stuff over to another record label who are interested, but we're not going to, we're not looking for a flood of 30 or 40 bands. We want to identify 2 or 3, and just because we say no to a guy, it doesn't mean that they're not good. It just means that we worked and we're focused on a couple of bands, and once we've moved off of them, we'll move on to the others. You said Sugar Drive after 7 years have broken up. In my sense, my message to bands out there is 7 years is only the beginning of your career. It takes you 7 years to break it. once you've got to that point, you've then got to find people and build a team around you. And so many people forget this. Build a team, get a good publishing company, get a good manager, get a good business manager, get a good producer, get a good record label. It's not one person who's going to make it happen. And that can take 7 or 8 years to build up. Once you've got that, then you can hit overseas.
So a compliment to you guys as well, the producers. You heard the big shot from Wind Up Records. I asked him if they were going to re-record the album, and the guy said, no, artistic freedom. We dig what you guys have done. So, I mean, that could be a breakthrough for both of you as well, maybe to record some international bands in South Africa.
We hope they don't re-record it.
The royalty rate.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah, we'd love to branch out into doing bands from that side.
And new South African bands? Are you busy looking at recording some new bands?
Yes, we are.
Oh, cool.
We've what we've actually just done. We've the one good thing for us is that we've just got a whole new studio setup. Very exciting. Obviously out at the farm, but some really state of the art. I'm sure all the guys have heard of Pro Tools out there. Budding musicians, and we're very excited about it. Chris and I, we believe it's taken us to the next level that we wanted to go, obviously moving with where things are going overseas. And yeah, absolutely, we are definitely out to listen to up and new coming talent.
Excellent. Well done, guys. Everybody concerned, I'm very chuffed. It took me 20 years. But here we are, man. Exciting news. Breakthrough for South African bands. The boys are here. Yeah, give them a big round of applause. Saron Gas. All right. They're rather smelly. They've been sweating it out there for 45 minutes. But anyway, come and take a seat, boys. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent set as well.
Thank you
Played
very
your
much.
heart. So did you hear what the big shot said there from Wind Up Records?
Yeah, we're listening to hanging on every word.
Great. Okay. So you guys went to New York. What was it like when you heard the news after they accepted your CD? And how did it all happen? Did the phone call come through? All right, Saron Gas, we want you guys in New York. What was it like when you heard the news?
They phoned Ingrid on the Wednesday after they'd got the album, I think, on the Friday, and they said to her, can the guys fly tomorrow? And we said, well, we'd love to, but we've got to get visas and things. And then the next week, Thursday, they booked us plane tickets. We arrived there on the Thursday morning. It was awesome. Very, very cool.
Well done. I mean, that's a breakthrough. It's history. I mean, you're the first rock band to sign a deal with one of the biggest independent record labels in the world. I mean, they got Creed and Finger 11. All these bands are doing so well, and maybe, who knows, you'll be touring with Creed soon. That'll be like a dream come true.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. Very cool.
And relocating, your families are standing behind you all the way. I know some of you are married, and some of you are pregnant. Sean, are you right there? Just checking. It's going to be quite tough. You're going to have to leave South Africa for at least a year, and you're going to have to go on the road over there, and they've got big plans for you. But do you see this as your last chance, and this is the chance you're going to grab?
We've taken this as a sign. It's our foot into the door, into the international market. It's a 7 album deal, so which means basically translated into time frame, it's about a 10-year period of time, which is for us hopefully a long enough time period to go and make this start in another country. You know, we're not leaving our country behind, but we have to look overseas and try and expand ourselves. And like I said, it's just, we're going to take it as each day as it comes. We'll probably end up living there. That's the idea we get from them. So yeah, it's very scary, very exciting at the same time, and we're not going to have to leave our families behind for too long, which is kind of cool as well, because family is what makes everything, you know, gets you through the day and everything besides your friends. So yeah, that'll be cool.
And also the support you've had from the press, radio, everybody's been behind you guys from day one, because you're a bunch of nice guys. And as they say, you know, on the way up the ladder, you meet a lot of people, and when you go on your way down, you're going to meet them again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next step now, when are you looking at moving over? Probably the end of the year or so.
The first thing we've been told is that they're looking at moving us over end of September, mid-October, get us in the the rehearsal rooms there in New York, get to work on the material a bit while we're there with the actual A&R music directors and everything while we're there. But we don't know. It might end up being at the end of the year, maybe only January. But the thing is, we have to record. Depends on what they want to do with the album.
You also you showcase some of your songs. They were all sitting there. Explain. Oh, that must have been frightening. I mean, can you imagine the big dudes from Wind Up Records sitting there staring at you guys? What was it like? I mean, getting on that stage doing your thing.
Most nervous gig of our lives, I think.
You didn't break a string or anything? Bass?
Sean actually did.
Oh, man.
Yeah, probably about half an hour or so before we had to start playing, Sean broke a string on his one guitar. So we had to walk
downtown and go buy some new ones.
Yeah.
Past some really suspect neighborhoods.
I was so nervous, I forgot to put on deodorant that morning.
But apparently they were driving you guys around in limos. What was that like?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We got to the airport to JFK, and they told us we were going to be picked up in 2 cars.
Mm.
And there was this guy standing with his little sign. Went outside, and there's the longest white limo I've ever seen in my life.
with a fridge full of beer.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. And you didn't sign immediately, did you?
That was really cool.
Cool. All right, Sean, you just want to put those headphones on. We're going to take some calls now. The phone's going crazy. If you want to speak to Sean and the band, well, the other guys aren't wearing headphones because we only have one pair here. 089 111. Look at that. I mean, the reaction. I mean, everybody's so proud of you guys. Let's go to the lines. Hello, who's calling?
Hi, it's Joshua.
Yeah, do you want to speak to Sean?
I'd love to.
Go for it.
Sure, man. I just want to wish you Oaks well done. It's damn awesome that you actually been signed.
Thanks, man.
And I just hope that when you Oaks all reach in famous, you come back and remember your SA fans.
The SA fans are what made us who we are and made us get where we are, so we'll never forget them.
Sweet. Thanks, man. Well done.
Sweet,
Okay,
brother.
thanks for your call. Let's go to the next one. Hello, who's calling? Nobody there. Hello, who's calling? Hello. Hello, who's calling?
Hello, it's Russell from Cape Town.
How's it, Russell? Go ahead, speak to the
I'd like
band.
to say congrats.
Thanks, man.
Because in Cape Town it's raining at the moment and I'm singing in the rain. I know it's the first time I heard you guys when I said on the TDK sessions.
Yeah.
And then Barney always used to introduce the band in the week and play a few songs, and the song Tied My Hands.
Yeah.
That really introduced me to you guys, and sometimes you hear a band for the first time on the radio and it just goes in one ear and go out the other ear, but your band stuck, and congrats. I hope you guys really make it big.
Thanks a lot, man.
See you on the Grammy Awards or something.
Okay. Am I getting a ticket to the Grammy Awards?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm begging. All right, speak to Saron Gas. Hello.
Hello.
Who's calling?
It's Sean.
Okay, Sean, speak to Sean.
How's it, Sean? I just wanted to congratulate you, and I also wanted to ask if you're doing any other concerts before you decide to go over.
Yeah, thanks very much, first of all. We'll be playing Woodstock, especially at the end of September. We're doing a lot of gigs during September. We've booked ourselves some in October. And possibly, if we don't have to leave too soon, we'll be doing another nationwide tour with as many cities as possible.
That's brilliant.
Cool, man. So we'll see you guys in your city soon.
Okay, thanks, man.
Cool, man.
Cheers. Have you got the album?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
Okay.
All right, see ya. Let's take a couple more. Hello, who's calling?
How's it, Barney? This is Grant here.
Yeah, Grant, speak to the band.
Speak to Sean.
Yeah, go ahead.
How's it, man?
How's it, Sean? Listen, I just want to say congratulations, and I knew you guys would do it.
Thanks,
I met
man.
you the one night there in Poch. I remember Dave still saw my girlfriend's boob. But anyway,
man.
you're the only reason I went to Uppy Coffee, and you're the only reason that I'm going to Woodstock as well.
Thank you very much, brother.
Okay, see you.
See you soon,
Cheers.
man. Cheers.
You guys as well, when you started out, you supported all the big bands in South Africa, the Springbok New Girls, Sugar Drive. There was no hassle like, hey, we want a headline. You paid your dues. You were always in there. And I think that's good advice for up-and-coming bands as well. I know a lot of gigs you played for free just to get on there and open up in front of a big crowd.
Nothing comes easily, nothing comes for free either. It's except for the gigs that you have to play for free, but it's...
Or they don't pay you.
The thing is, you have to go, bands expect to go out and get paid a lot of money. I mean, we still don't get paid a lot of money. We still go out and we still work hard. I mean, we play as many gigs as we can, and then you get a lot of money. But you work 3-4 hours a day, every day a week. And I mean, it's not just a question of going out And you know, you will get paid now. I mean, we started off with one of our gigs. We got paid 12 rand each. It was
more than I get around.
It was about a year ago. So it's,
but also in the beginning, you had like 100 people or 50 people. The worst gig, 9 people, I think. One person, the barman.
Yeah, no. Well, actually, I think the least we ever had was our respective girlfriends and wives,
okay.
And the rest was just tumbleweed and crickets, man.
but now, I mean, there's such a demand for the band, and that's through good management as well, and not just radio play, but everything, your songs, marketing. I think that's very important, and you've been working with a great team in South Africa.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people to thank for that. I mean, we've got Frontline Entertainment with Ingrid and Gillian. They've done a hell of a good job. We've got to thank you guys at 5FM, especially you. I mean, we've been exposed a lot in that sense. Guys like Power Zone, for them for helping us out as well. It just seems that we've just tried to remain true to ourselves along the way, and people have seen that about us and hopefully respected that about us and then helped us out in the same way. Yeah.
And a lot of bands as well, they've been phoning, they've been wishing you guys good luck, from the top bands right down to the beginners. What is the vibe like in South Africa at this stage when it comes to rock? Because, I mean, rock is back. We all know about it. It started in January this year. You can hear it on radio. It's all over MTV. The young bands, any advice for them to get where you guys are now before you can move on?
I'd say just believe in yourself. I mean, we had so much flack, so many people saying you'll never do it, get a real job, cut your hair, you know, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You just have to believe in yourself to the point that you'll give up your day job, or you'll pack it in and give 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the band. And which, I mean, we've all been doing that now for about a year and a half.
Now, the door opened for you guys because of hard work. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a rich daddy and stuff like that. It always happens. Ask the Britneys. When you get to the States and you crack it there, I'm sure you're going to do it. What about the bands in South Africa waiting? If you go on a tour there, will you invite South African bands to support you?
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll be able to finance, you know, we'll set up a thing where we can finance South African bands to come over and tour with us. If we can do anything for South African music while we're there, we'll do as much as we possibly can, cool. You know. Hopefully with Wind Up's help, they're awesome people. And I mean, they wouldn't have a problem with us saying, look, we'd like to invite this band over to come play with us. I mean, that's essentially one of our main missions while we're there, is to actually bring other bands over so that we can expose the American market to South African bands, you know.
So I've been sending your CD. Every South African CD I get, the record comes, you usually send me about 5, and I send them all over the States and Australia. You never know, maybe some radio station will be playing your CD. And every time, you know, when we approach radio stations overseas like K-Rock, they think we're, oh man, you guys play African music, penny whistles and bongo drums. And I said, no, we've got some rock bands here. So that's why the MD of Wind Up, he was surprised when his wife walked in and said, listen, they come from South Africa. Amazing.
I think essentially we're a very westernized culture. I mean, if you watch the television we've been watching for the past however long you can remember, it's all American TV now. Recently, it's been British and Australian. It's American music. It's American movies. It's we actually, more than we know it, are part of the American culture. So we've been criticized for not sounding South African, but we're also not trying to sound American. It's just part of how we've been brought up.
Well, if you want to sound South African, just get a person to play penny whistle in the background. I mean,
can you play penny whistle, Bon?
I can. We can get Johnny Clegg to dance in front of the band. That makes it African. You know what I mean? It's quite weird. You must believe in what you're doing, and that's about it. Doesn't matter if you sound like Limp Bizkit or whatever, or Nirvana. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I know you're kind of tired now. You've been doing interviews. From tomorrow, it's going to be hectic. A lot of people interviewing you. It's going to be on ETV tomorrow night, as well as in the Star and a lot of newspapers. Well done. We're proud of you, man.
Thank you very much.
I'd love to carry on for another hour, but I think we've got to play some music now. All right. Well done, guys.
One more thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'd like to thank everyone out there that's ever believed in us and been there for us, because they're very important to us now at this point especially. And this one was for you, all of you that believed in us. Thank you.
And I must just thank Evert as well. He did a great mix. I forgot to mention it earlier on. Evert at RP Studios. Well done. In Auckland Park. And that's about it. We're winding it up now. Well done, guys.